Hey, what's happening? The Joe Wentz Project broadcast. We are live, man. We're live. Thank you for being here. It's Wednesday. What is it? Wednesday, October 4th, 2017 at 1:25 p.m. And I believe Johnny's supposed to be joining me here, hopefully pretty soon. I think he's got some stuff going on over there. So hopefully he'll be joining me soon. And I believe we're going to talk about Tom Petty. Which I haven't had a chance to really talk about that yet. Um, so, very sad news about Tom Petty. It says, I'm looking up some information here. It says that I know this was a couple of days ago, but I haven't had a chance to express my views about it. Um, Tom Petty, of course, died October 2nd, 2017, UCLA Medical Center in Santa Monica, California. Very sad stuff. Also, there was an article I was wanting to check out that I guess it's from CNN. It says Tom Petty's daughter angered over death report, and I've got to check that out. I got to look at this. Simon Williams, how are you, sir? Brent C. Rocks, how you doing, man? How are you? Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate it very much. Let's see if we can pull this article up here and see what it says. This is the first time I'm reading this, so let's see. Tom Petty's daughter angered over early inaccurate death report. Let's see. Tom Petty died on Monday night. Excuse me, but inaccurate news of his death made its way around the internet much earlier in the day. And of course, when my wife sent me a link to it, it was what was that? Monday, I believe. And the link she sent me said that he had died on Sunday. And I was like, what? So it was, of course, inaccurate reporting and all this stuff. Um, According to Tom Petty's longtime manager, the legendary rocker died peacefully at 8:40 p.m., surrounded by his family, his bandmates, and friends after suffering cardiac arrest. Uh, that was hours after some media outlets had already posted on his death, a mistake that prompted one of the Petty's daughters to vent her anger about it on social media, which I would be too. You know, I'd be upset. Uh, an Instagram account believed to belong to Anna Kim Violet Petty, Tom Petty's daughter, I presume, featured a post with a blistering message to Rolling Stone magazine, which reported Petty had died on Monday afternoon. Quote, this is what she said: "My dad is not dead, but your effing magazine is." That's what she put. Wow, man. Golly. Oh, my goodness. Um, and she goes on to say, "How dare you report that my father has died just to get press because your articles and photos are so dated? This is my father, not a celebrity, an artist, and human being. Good for you. Good for you, Miss Petty. Man, that's awesome." Petty's daughter and Rolling Stone did not respond to CNN Money's request for comment on this story. She started posting photos of her father on Sunday and continued throughout Monday. And one post had included the song lyrics to "All Right for Now." Petty wrote, "Thank you for all the love." Wow. Man, how about that? Let's check the chat box here real quick. Um, let's see. Center's in the house. How you doing, Center? What's going on? Brent C. Rock says, well, the sad news. The sad, well, the sad, well, the news said he was dead before he was dead, right? That's what it, I think Brent kind of missed a letter. Yeah, that's what's sad. Johnny, welcome, man.
Hey, man. Man, I'm so sorry. Took forever for me to get in here, man.
That's okay. Go ahead. Remember, you can click on your picture on your computer to make it bigger. Remember that? Because last time you was like, I can't see myself. Remember that?
Do I look small?
And well, it's no. I mean, I don't know what it looks like on you. But when you talk,
Oh, there I am.
you know what I'm saying? When you talk, it's regular on my end, but I don't.
Yeah.
I remember you said on your end you was having some trouble, but yeah, I was going over some of the stuff here that was online where Tom Petty's daughter was enraged uh, from the uh, reports of her father's passing when he wasn't deceased yet. So
Right.
wow.
Was that today?
This was
Today or yesterday that came out?
I think this is yesterday, I believe. I believe. And I'll read it one more time real quick since you just jumped in. It says an Instagram account believed to belong to Petty's daughter featured a post with a blistering message to Rolling Stone magazine, which reported Petty had died on Monday afternoon, which at that point in time he wasn't. Her post to Rolling Stone magazine said, "My dad is not dead yet, but your effing magazine is." That's what she said. So,
well, I mean, that's the truth.
I can't blame her, man. I would be upset too. I'd be upset. I would be really upset.
Let's see if I can find her account here.
Oh, on Instagram.
On Instagram.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna check. Say hello, Randall Fisher. How are you, sir? Thank you for joining. Mark Taylor is in the house. Brincy rocks. Let's see. How's it going, Joe and Johnny? He's sitting outside picking on a beat up old acoustic, enjoying the great Memphis weather. I hear you, Mr. Randall. That's awesome. Yes, beautiful outside. Simon Williams, Mark Taylor, hi, Joe and Johnny, he says. Yeah, Randall Fisher. I think Center's in the house too.
Hey, Simon. Simon, Randall, Brent, Mark Taylor.
So you see it too, right? Randall, we are live. It says, is everyone still waiting for Joe to go live? We are live.
Brent, he says Rolling Stone has done that before.
With
announcing somebody had passed away before they actually did.
Man,
that created a lot of confusion. Okay,
it did.
Yeah, because this was Monday. I was driving up to Walnut Creek. You know how I said we would be here. I would be there Monday. I would be here on Friday. This is very confusing. And then a friend of mine came into town, and Monday was the only day we could actually meet up and have dinner and everything. So I was driving up to Walnut Creek Monday, and I have Sirius XM in the car now. So naturally, it's on Howard Stern just all the time. No other stations. No other stations. Howard, if you're on the fence about getting XM, as long as you get Howard Stern, that's all you need. But there's so many other stations. Yeah.
Yes.
And 101. Yeah.
Yeah. Howard 101.
Man, look how tired I look. Oh man. I'm gonna have to do this. Remember, it's only 10:34 here. Oh yeah. Although I heard Nesdal wakes up at 11. So.
Oh, okay.
That's your time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was driving up to Walnut Creek listening to Howard Stern, and I get up there. I pull into this town called Lafayette, California. That's one of my first stops when I travel up there. And remember, I'd been listening to Howard, which is a replay of that morning. So there's no live whatever, And I've got my phone sitting on the dashboard, like this.
Right.
And all of a sudden, a tweet pops up, and it's from there's this band called Veruca Salt. One of my favorite bands, right? I follow them on Twitter, and this tweet pops up and has the hashtag "Rip Tom Petty." That's how I first found out. And this would have been an hour. This would have been an hour after everybody else found out, even
Now,
though
was
it
this
wasn't true.
Monday?
This was
Was this
Monday.
Monday? Monday.
Yeah,
Okay.
this was Monday. Monday. And so I see that, and I'm like, huh? And so I open it up and I look, and immediately, you go to Facebook, and every post on Facebook is Tom Petty. Tom Petty has passed away.
Man.
And so this would have been, let's see, because it's California time. This would have been roughly 1:40-ish. I guess I could look, but because I have to be up there. I have to be up there at 2, and I got up there a little early. So this would have been somewhere 20 to 2, 10 to 2, somewhere California time.
Right.
So
it'd have been about almost almost 5 o'clock here, almost, I guess, or almost 6 o'clock, something like that, whatever.
Yeah, but remember, this would have been an hour after everybody else. So whenever they first reported it, would have been roughly an hour before. So it would have been 1 o'clock-ish California time. I'm thinking.
Right. But see, it was what's up, brother Jimbo? Jim Guidry, how you doing, man?
Hey, Jim.
What, see, that was Monday, but he actually passed away that night, correct? Monday evening? Okay.
Yeah, about 8:40 California time, Monday night.
Okay.
Is when he passed away. And so of course, Twitter, all of Facebook is saying he had passed away. Right. Mm-hmm. But since I have Sirius XM, there's a Tom Petty station where it's all Tom Petty, and so I immediately go to that station, and the whole rest of the day that I'm in the car, I've got it locked on the Tom Petty station, and they're live that whole day. It's these two DJs, and they're talking about Tom Petty the entire day. Wow. And fans are calling up, telling stories about when they saw him in concert. A lot of great stories, great stuff. They're awesome. Playing Tom Petty songs all day. So there was a lot of stuff I heard that I had never heard, because I really only owned one Tom Petty record ever, and that was the one with Free Fallin'.
Yes.
Which was that? Was that 89 or 91?
I want it. I can't remember.
I want maybe 91.
It might have been.
Free Fallin'. Is it Running Down a Dream? Is that?
Yeah, Running Down a Dream. Yeah.
I want to say it was about 91-ish, maybe, or it could have been 89. Either one. Mm-hmm. One of those times. That was the only album I really owned myself. Although 89, Simon. Okay, cool. Thank you, Simon.
Yeah. Thank you, Simon.
Yeah. So that was the only album I ever actually bought myself. But of course, I've gone to friends' houses and looked at their records, and gone to record stores. Out here we got Amoeba Records, which is the best record store on the planet. So right. I've seen all those records.
Right.
But listening to XM, I got to hear a lot of songs I'd never heard.
Oh yeah.
And he's done a lot of different music, not just the typical Tom Petty kind of. When you think of Tom Petty, the typical type of stuff. There was some other stuff that was actually more rock, more. Okay. I wish I could remember some of the titles of some of the songs I heard, but stuff that if you had heard it just before if there was no singing, you wouldn't have thought it was a Tom Petty song.
Wow.
Because it was a little heavier,
Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
So anyway, the whole day I'm listening to XM, and the entire day they keep saying, they started saying, the DJs, they're like, well, we know there's reports that he's passed away, but we can't confirm that. And this is from his actual XM station. They're saying that. And so I go over to Facebook, and I had already posted, rest in peace, And so I commented within my own post that I'm listening to XM. They're saying they can't confirm that he's passed away. That yes, he had a heart attack, and yes, he's in the hospital, but they're saying that they can't confirm that. And of course, everybody's reposting on my page. No, Johnny, everybody's reporting he's passed away. Rolling Stone, whatever. So it has to be
Wow.
true. And I'm
Man.
like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't, on his actual station, they're saying that it's not true, or they can't confirm it yet. And then later on in the day, people, I guess they had backtracked or whatever, Rolling Stone or CBS or some of the outlets that were saying that he had passed away. They're now saying that he hadn't yet. But I guess it was at 8:40 or 8:45 somewhere where huh? Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, I don't know Randall Fisher. I don't know what he might
Maybe
have to.
he wouldn't be able to see this.
He's you need to go out of YouTube and come back in and come back into the show, man. Something
Or just refresh.
refresh. Yeah, Mark Taylor makes an interesting statement, Johnny. He says, "I am a news reporter, and I can say legitimate reporters never run with stories without verification from official sources. My guess is that some official leaked info prematurely to the media."
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that came out was that the LAPD had no report of him passing away.
Right.
They started saying that.
Wow. Man. I saw a couple of interesting tweets here after Tom Petty passed. This is via Twitter, and Cheryl Crow. This was on October 2nd, 2017. She says, "This is unbearable. Vegas, and now a great music hero has passed. You brought us so much joy. We will miss you. Rest in peace, Tom Petty." Once again, that's from Cheryl Crow. John Mayer tweeted, "I love Tom Petty, and I covered his songs because I wanted to know what it felt like to fly. You belong somewhere. You feel free." And then the final one that shows Ed Helms. "Thank you, Tom Petty, for all the light you brought to the world." So it's something else, man. It was we did when I was in a band, we did I think 4 of his songs, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do those songs. Like I've said, back then when I got with that band right there, I was like, they said, "We're gonna do some Tom Petty songs." I was like, okay. And in my mind, I was like, Tom Petty. I was like, I'm not really familiar with none of his stuff, And then so when we got ready to learn the songs, the drummer made CDs for everybody, and he said, "Take the CD home uh, and listen to and learn the songs." I said, "Okay, cool," And then so all the songs I had like 3 CDs. They were all full of songs, all 3 CDs.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Tom Petty ones came up, and I was learning those, and I was like, "Man, these are," and it turned out, and I'm serious, man, it turned out to be really fun to play. I was like, "Man, I really enjoyed those songs, still do today." Those are fantastic songs, man. And
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh, well,
didn't realize how good of a songwriter and stuff he was until I really started delving into his music. But it took me a lot later in life to realize that. You know,
mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Johnny. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh man, this is your show.
No, no,
Uh,
man. No, go ahead. I
I mean,
apologize.
musically, his songs they're really simple if
Yeah,
you really listen to them. But the stuff, like the guitar parts you know, over the simple chord changes are
yeah,
super cool. Like you were
yes.
playing one yesterday. I was watching you yesterday.
Right.
You were playing a little bit of you had which song was that?
Um, it was probably a breakdown. It's probably
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
where it's kind of doom, 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 doom. How it
Yeah.
does that. That's the brilliance of Mike Campbell, Tom Petty's guitar player. He is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a fun song to play. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Michael Collins. Simon Williams says he saw Tom Petty with. He saw it in 1987 with Bob Dylan and Roger McGuinn. Drove back through a hurricane without releasing it. Wow, oh my God, wow, man. Mark Taylor Breakdown is one of my all-time favorite Petty tracks. Yeah, that was always a fun song to do, man. In the band playing that live, that's really, and you got to have somebody that can sing that stuff, because Tom Petty, his vocal, it's kind of up there, man. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of up there
Mm-hmm. Oh,
to
and
match his pitch. You know.
he's got a real unique voice too.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
you hear him singing, you know who it is immediately.
Oh yeah, just like with Bryan Adams and Bob Seger, and you hear that, you know who that. You know, it's like boom. You know.
That's the thing about vocalists, about singers. You know, if you're a singer in a band, if you really only have one shot of being being who you, how does this make sense? A singer's vocals are so unique, where if you make it, you make it. If you don't,
Oh
you
yeah.
don't. But other musicians, guitar players, drummers, bass players, they can always go and be in another band somewhere. They can, playing guitar, you can be in 20 different bands. If you're a singer, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yes,
If you're
sir.
a singer, you got that one voice.
Mm-hmm.
And if people don't like it, they don't like it, and you're done.
That's right. You can't go somewhere else and start something else, because they're like, I heard him when he was with so-and-so, and that just didn't. You're right. You have to have that.
If you suck at the guitar, you can take lessons and get better.
Yeah.
You can change your style. You can change your style. With vocals, you really only have one style, even though you can sing, country, rock, jazz, blues, you can sing all the stuff. Your voice, you only have one voice with vocals. Right. That's what I'm trying to say. If that makes any kind of sense.
Oh yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense, man. It makes perfect sense.
Am I orange? Am I orange again?
No.
I've got the orange gel here on this. I've got my new light. I don't know if
it looks great, man.
If you can tell. I was live yesterday doing a test, and I had the soft white gel over it.
Oh.
And somebody, was it Showman? I don't think he's here, but he was saying that I looked blue.
Blue. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was saying I looked blue, even though I didn't. I could see what he was talking about. Mm-hmm. And he was saying I needed some yellow within the light. And I don't have a yellow gel. I've got the orange gel.
Orange gel. With John Beane.
Orange, yeah.
Johnny, what is your podcast brought in part by? Orange Gel. You can find it at johnnybean.com.
Orange Jello.
Yeah, man. Let me grab this something. I don't know. I'm just going to do that little lick and see if that's what you was talking about. If I'm not going to turn this up loud at all. First thing you always do, what? Right, Johnny? You tune your correct?
Tune your guitar. I got to get one of those. I don't have.
You don't have a snark tune? Oh my God,
no,
man! What do you use? Just a regular tuner that you plug in?
Never used one. Yeah, I've got the Boss tuner on my pedal board.
Oh, the pedal. Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I use that. Yeah, Randall. Or yeah, Mark. Wait, Randall. The Traveling Wilburys were the greatest supergroup of all time. That's true, man. I agree with that 100%.
Oh yeah,
100%. The Traveling Wilburys.
Oh yeah.
No other group of musicians will top that.
That's right.
In my opinion, maybe in Joe's opinion.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Was you talking about this, Johnny? What I was doing yesterday? Was that it right there? I don't know if you could hear that.
Mm-hmm. And then it's got the sliding part.
Yeah. And this thing's feeding back. It's got. Let's see. Okay. That right there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you see the greatness
Yeah, that's
of Joe Wentz.
No. No,
The
that's
the
Mike.
great
That's Mike Campbell, man. That's
the
Mike Campbell.
greatness of those licks right there. You know, the
Yeah.
chords are very simple. That's what, 2 chords? It's like
Yeah,
one
actually,
change.
it's the 2 chords, and then when it goes to the chorus, and break down. Go ahead and give it to me.
It's like 3
Then
chords.
it's 3 chords. So it's this. It's just A and G, and then it goes to F. Break down. Go ahead and give it to me. Break down. Gonna take me through the night.
You sound like Bob Dylan singing.
You know what I'm saying? I can't sing. I'm not a singer.
Are you a Wilbury? You could do a Traveling
No.
Wilburys cover band and just do the whole thing yourself.
No. Nuh-uh. But yeah, that's
but yeah,
great.
that tune though, right there, it's brilliant. It's got the 2 chords,
Yeah.
and but then the part over it that Campbell's playing,
Right.
it's all the right notes. There's nothing in there. There's no filler. Every note there speaks to you.
It does.
I mean, I mean, that's right there. That's the definition of a great song right there. And I'm just talking musically. I'm not talking lyrically.
Right.
You know, the lyrics are a whole another ball game on top of that.
And then you got another great one that we always did. I don't know how it's going to come through, Johnny. See if you can make it out. You know what that is? It's a hint. I'll go ahead and do it. There it is.
Yeah, right, and right there too.
She's a good girl. I mean, that's classic, man.
Yeah, I've covered that song.
Classic.
I've played that. And we used to play this Irish pub every Tuesday. We would do a trivia show, and we would do a sing-along with the entire upstairs and downstairs of this Irish pub in San Francisco. It was over on Clement Street. It was called the Bitter End. I don't know if it's still there, but if anybody's watching this, you know San Francisco, you know Clement, you know that area. Yeah. I used to play every Tuesday there. We'd pass out lyric sheets. The whole place would sing. That was one of the songs we would do, and the entire place would go. Actually, I might have an audio recording of that.
And I'm free.
Yeah.
That's always fun to solo over, man. You sit there and do them chords. You can just. It's just always fun to do, man. You know, and what was that other one that running down a dream?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that's fun, man.
That was a great album.
He had some great stuff, man.
That was the only one I ever had, but man, I'm gonna have to dig back now and find who was it? What was it? Was it Brent? Brent C. Rocks. His band. He's covered "Running Down a Dream," "Honeybee," "Breakdown," "The Waiting," "Refugee."
Yeah. What was that other one that they did that we did? Was it "Wreck Me"? You remember that, Johnny? You wreck me, baby. It's a
yeah.
Yeah, that was always fun. You know, that was a fun song to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if any of you guys listening, if you guys have XM radio, definitely go over to the Tom Petty station. I think it might be station 32, 31 or 32. I think is the Tom Petty station, and they did a great tribute to him actually later on in the evening. Right. After it was confirmed, they had passed away. They had a cool tribute that they did, and they're probably still playing it, I would think.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, those songs were always so fun to do, man. Always had a good time. And like I said, when you're, I'm sure you experience that too. When you're in a place playing and you play them songs, people love those songs because they're classics, man. They're great songs, man. People sing along.
Mm-hmm.
People are, dancing and stuff like that. And it's just, it's a great time, man. I miss those. I miss that. Really, it was really cool. Brent says we did Wreck Me as well. Wow. Brent's done all of it, hasn't he? Brentsy rocks.
Brentsy rocks.
Oh, man. That's what's going to be next, Brent.
Brentsy rocks on Howard 100.
That's what's coming. How'd you get on there, Brent? Man.
Yeah. Oh, Brent's got some stories, man. He's called me several times.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. I've heard him. Yeah.
And not just on the air either. I'll be driving.
Oh, okay.
And he'll call me up. Johnny. Yeah, we've talked. We've had long talks. Yeah, Brent, he knows what he's talking about, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Golly. Man. So yeah, it's time to break out your guitar, Johnny. Play some Tom Petty sometime, man. When you just go over some of those songs.
Yeah. Well, see, what that does for me, actually, when I hear a great song, when I hear something I really dig, instead of wanting to learn the song, it makes me want to pick up a guitar and write my own song.
Oh,
It inspires me to come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say similar, but kind of. If you get inspired by something, a lot of times you're inspired by either a part or a sound, even just like the production of a tune. I'm really into the production of sounds and the way things sound, I guess.
Right.
So I could hear a song and maybe dig the song, but hear like a cool effect, and that'll make me want to. Oh, I want to make something kind of like that too.
Yeah. Let me try that. Yeah, absolutely.
And the Tom Petty song, the one I was talking about, Brent. He says maybe he knows what I was talking about. There's one where it's kind of a heavier sounding. I'd have to look through his list of songs, and maybe I could pinpoint which one it was. But the song had a there was some sound to it, or there was a sound within the song. It wasn't. I don't think it was a guitar. I think it was like maybe a loop, like a loop of some effect or something was within the song, and that made me think, oh, that's cool.
The speaking of cool stuff, cool sounds and all that stuff, the first time that I saw Tom Petty and really heard anything by him was probably in Johnny. I'd say probably in, what was that, 86 MTV. Tom Petty's video comes out, "Don't Come Around Here No More," and that video was based off the 85, and that video was based off the Alice in Wonderland kind of parody.
Yeah,
I was the Mad Hatter.
I was a kid then, so of course that video was cool to me because it was like a cartoon. It was like
because when I first seen it, and he's dressed up like the Mad Hatter and all this stuff, and he's but the thing I remember that caught my attention right off the bat was that the drums in the beginning, and come to find out, that was a drum machine. A drum machine was used in that song until the very end, when everything kicks in. Yeah, it's in Tom Petty's book. Yeah, that was what was the big drum machine back then? Because Prince used them a lot too back in the day, and I can't remember the name of the drum machine. They were real high back then. Anyway, Tom Petty and them had one, so they programmed it. And that's a drum machine through that whole song until the very end when it comes together and everything's, then you can hear the regular drums. Yeah, you can hear it. And but that was the first time I saw Tom Petty, and I didn't know. I was like, who is this guy? Is this a new group? I had no idea they'd been around since the 70s because I was like 15 years old then. I wasn't real familiar with artists.
Wasn't his first album 77?
I couldn't tell you, man. I couldn't tell you.
Lynn drums.
Lynn Drum Machine. Thank you, Mr. Williams. That's correct. The Lynn Drum Machine. Yes, thank you. That's what it was. Yeah.
Hey, Adam.
Randall Fisher. Adam, EVH. What's up, man? How you doing, man? Randall Fisher says, what's the song they made a video on MTV in a desert and a tent, if my memory serves me right? I couldn't tell you, man. Mr. Williams says, yeah, Johnny, his first album was 77. There you go.
Yeah. I know the video you're talking about. I know the video. What song was that?
Man, I don't know.
I know. Obviously, it was a single, so obviously it was a hit.
Let's look up Tom Petty's big hits. Tom Petty. Whoops. Tom Petty songs. Okay, wow. Here we go. Okay. Free Fallin' was from 1989, Johnny. That was from Full Moon Fever.
Okay, that was the album that I had then. Okay, I'm looking through some stills, and You Got Lucky.
You Got Lucky, baby.
Was that the one in the desert? It looks like it takes place like in the future or something.
It could be. I don't know.
There's like a pod riding around.
Breakdown came out in 1976. Okay, cool. All right. Learning to Fly. That's from the album Into the Great Wide Open in 1991. Running Down a Dream was also from Full Moon Fever, so you had that album. Let's see.
Hey, Jay.
American Girl. 708. Hey, man. What's up, Jay? How you doing? You Wrecked Me. That was from the album Wildflowers and from 1994, Johnny. Yeah. You Got Lucky was from the album Long After Dark, 1982. Wow. So many songs, man. Wow.
Yeah, wasn't it? You Got Lucky. That was the one in the desert, right? It had the synth. The synth part.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it, Randall? Yeah. And see, again, a very simple. His songs,
simple stuff.
His songs were very simple, but all the stuff on top of it made it,
absolutely incredible. Yes.
I mean that goes to show you. That goes to show you that a great song doesn't have to be a million different notes.
That's exactly right. I agree totally, man. I totally agree. And that is the truth, because the proof is in the pudding on that, man. You listen to it and you're like, man, that's awesome, and it's simplicity can be the best way to go a lot of times, man. Jay says You Got Lucky is his best song and video, he says.
I'm gonna have to watch some of these, because like that, I used to watch that all the time back in the day, but that was back in the day,
I know. I have to look up on
that. It's gotten bigger since,
Yeah. I had to look some of these up on YouTube, man. Some of these videos, because man. Oh wow.
Yeah, he always had great videos. The videos
he did
always great.
He did. In that documentary, Jim Guidry and I've talked about this on a podcast, but there's a documentary called Sound City. I don't know if you've seen that, Johnny. Have you seen that?
I have not seen it, but I know all about it because Butch Vig, I think Butch Vig is in it. From Garbage.
Yeah,
he produced. He produced Smells Like Teen Spirit album. Which one was that? Nevermind.
Yeah. Was that? You're right.
Yeah,
Nirvana.
And it's all about the studio.
Yeah, and you're right. They interview all kind of people. It's a documentary that's made by Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters and Nirvana, but
Mm-hmm.
they talk about how that Sound City, how that studio when it first started, how so many artists and so much history was recorded on that Neve board, that historic Neve board. All the bands from the late 70s, 80s, even into the 90s, and they interview people, and then it shows when things started changing. One of the guys that used to work there, an engineer or whatever, decided to build his own studio, and it wouldn't. I don't know if it was like next door or right down the street or something. I can't remember, but all his stuff was like digital. That's when stuff started to change, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and so they were interviewing some people, and Tom Petty was one of them. And Tom Petty said he wanted to be able to turn some knobs and experiment with sounds, when he's doing his stuff. And he said over in that new studio, you couldn't do that. There was just one knob that done everything. He said, I don't want that. He said, I want to be able to turn some knobs and
there's a mouse.
Yeah, exactly. He said, I want to be able to experiment with some sounds. He said, I don't want to turn one knob. He said, there ain't no fun in that. And I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Tom Petty that said it. A great documentary, Sound City. And it's absolutely fantastic, man. You need to watch that. You got Netflix. It's on Netflix, man. Check it out.
Mm-hmm. I've been meaning to. I mean, I remember before it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing about it before it came out, and because they were building hype, for it.
Oh yeah.
Or actually, it might have been one of those GoFundMe things, actually.
Oh.
Or maybe it was something like that, where they were raising money to make the film. Maybe it was something like that. So I heard about it. I want to say some years back. When did it come out?
It's been a few years.
It's been a few years.
I think so. Yeah.
I heard about it probably a year before.
Mm-hmm.
Before it came out. And again, that was because of I think Butch Vig's involvement in that.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah. It's very good. When it first came out, or when it was available on the digital format, I went to a website that they had for you could buy the movie, and I bought it and downloaded it to my phone, on my old phone. This is not this one. And I was like, heck yeah, man.
It filled it up. Uh-oh. Am I frozen? Oh, there you are. Are you frozen?
No.
Who was that?
No. I'm not frozen.
Did I freeze?
No. Not that I know of. And so after I watched it, and it was like a year later, Sound City was on Netflix. I was like, man, I paid money for that movie. Now you can watch it for free.
Oh man, I'm having the same dilemma right now. Okay, I backed up my entire computer because my computer, I've been having all kinds of problems. Some of you guys may know. And years ago, I went and bought, on iTunes, I went and bought some movies, and a bunch of.
Oh yeah.
Was it you? We were talking about Greatest American Hero, the TV show.
Yeah.
I bought on iTunes. I bought all the episodes except the first one. They don't have the
very first one. They don't have
the very first episode. They don't have on iTunes. I don't know why.
That's the best one.
So that's the one. It makes no sense. You watch it from the second episode on. You're like, what's going on? It's the first. It's the first episode you got to watch.
Yeah. When he learn when he gets the suit and everything, man.
What do you call those? Not premiere. You call them. What's a first episode of a show? There's a name for it.
Season opener. I don't know.
No, when it's the very first one, it's called something else. It has a special title to it. I can't think of what it is.
What, the pilot? The pilot episode?
Pilot. Yeah. The pilot episode of Greatest American Hero is not on iTunes. At least it wasn't.
The pilot speaking. We are getting ready to take off. Oh,
go ahead.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Simon. Yeah. Thank you, Joe. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. It's the Joe Wentz project. Just don't stand up. You can't. You're wearing the belt.
Remain seated.
You have to remain seated. When you fly,
yeah, but that was an awesome show, man. That was an awesome show.
If they make you sit there, do you think the pilot takes his pants off if he's up there the entire time?
I would hope not.
Do you think he's actually wearing that outfit? Do you think he's actually up there just Naked?
Oh,
Can I say that?
yeah, I don't think he
Naked
is.
pilot. Um,
Eating a naked chicken chalupa.
tells the co-pilot, "Hey,
Yeah.
run this for me. I'm gonna take a shower."
Yeah.
Do they have a
Roger,
bathroom
Roger.
up there in the cockpit? Can I say cockpit on here? Do they have a bathroom up there? I don't even know. Because wouldn't you?
No,
You
I
fly on a
don't know.
plane, you see the pilot come out and walk back to the bathroom. That'd make me nervous.
That's called
I
an
thought you were
autopilot,
flying.
man. Yeah.
The autopilot. Oh yeah, that's the balloon guy, right? No, what am I even talking about? What am I saying? I know you got
Greatest American Hero. Greatest American Hero. The pilot is not available on iTunes. You said
you got to run.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Long story short, I went and bought every episode of that on iTunes, so they're all in my iPod. I've got the classic. This.
Oh yeah.
This is what everybody wants now. Everybody wants this because this thing holds like thousands and thousands of songs. These things.
My son's got that. Yeah, he's had it for years.
There's some of my my albums there. There's the Police. What's next? Oh look. Oh, that's me. It's me on stage right there. So anyway, so I've got Greatest American Hero is in here, which is fine, but I downloaded a James Bond movie. And I'm blurry, but which one was it? It would have been some years back. It was a Daniel Craig one. Anyway, now I don't want the movie anymore, but I have it,
Right.
So it's taking up space. Should I delete it?
I would just delete it, man.
I paid money for that thing though.
Well, look at it this way. If you said you got it backed up on your computer, right? You want to delete it from your iPod or your computer?
I want to delete it from my computer. I don't want it anymore.
Well, delete it. Go ahead and delete it, man. I mean, movies take up a lot of space, man.
But then forever, my iTunes will be saying that file's missing. Even if you delete it, right? And what's the deal with iTunes where you go to play a song and it either skips to the next song and won't play that one particular song, or it tells you that file's missing when it's not?
I don't know.
I don't understand iTunes. I don't like iTunes anymore, man.
I don't know. I don't never use iTunes. I use Amazon, so I don't know. 7/8.
The instructions to the suit. Joe, you remember what happened, right?
I remember exactly from the spaceship. Yeah, had to get the instructions or the manual or whatever. I remember that little boy. He was trying to jump and fly, and that little boy, he was in that alley, and he couldn't fly. And that boy said, "You need to jump back, and take 3 big steps like Superman."
He was telling him how to fly. Yeah.
Yeah, it had to take off, And he went to fly, and he was all over the place, man. He's it was a great show, man. I remember watching that all the time, man, when I was growing up. It had what was that? Robert Culp was like the detective or something.
Yeah.
And then who was the woman, the long black-haired woman?
Connie Selica.
Man, yes, sir.
She went on to be after that. She was on a show called Hotel.
Oh, okay.
After that, if you got my parents, that was the grown-up show my parents watched. I wasn't allowed to watch that, but I could watch American Hero. Though.
Yeah, that was I liked it because what's his name was in there? Michael Perret. Remember, he was one of the students in the class. He ended up going on to be Eddie in the Cruisers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always liked Michael Perret. I always liked him. He's an awesome actor, man. I always liked him. But he's great. Hey, Mr. Glover, how are you, sir? Yeah.
Hey, man.
But it was a lot of fun, man, watching them shows, man. I was like, I hadn't watched that in forever, man. You know what I found on YouTube? You're gonna think it's crazy.
Well, it's YouTube.
It was an actual. You could actually see it was the actual pilot episode of The Amazing Spider-Man when that came on TV, like back in the late 70s, early 80s. I watched that. It was like an hour and something long.
The one with what's his name? What?
I can't remember his name.
Where the Spider-Man looks like he's wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, and it was the pilot was like a TV movie, and then after that, every week it was an episode. I used to watch that.
Well, that's like what I was saying about American Hero.
Right.
The pilots of those shows, they're like TV movies, and they're like 2 hours long.
Right.
Whereas the show after that is only an hour as
Mhm.
it goes. But the pilot is, event, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And Jay, the movie House with William Catt. You ever see that? The movie
No.
House. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like everything with William Catt. He's
Yeah. Yeah.
he was also on a Perry Mason reboot.
And I tell you what else. He was on. Well, you said the Perry Mason reboot. Wait a minute. Because wasn't his father on Perry Mason?
His mom.
The original. It was his mom.
Oh, the original one.
Yeah.
Well, his father was a singer. His father was actually, I think, a country singer.
Oh, okay. I always thought that was his father that played Perry Mason's, like Perry Mason, the detective that worked for Perry Mason, that guy with the blonde hair. For some reason, I thought that was his father. I don't know. I can't remember.
Maybe he was, but his mom was on the reboot with him.
Okay, but I also saw William Catt on an episode of because I love to watch that show House.
A different House.
And he was on
the TV show.
It was the TV show with Hugh Laurie, the doctor, where he's
because the movie House is totally different. The movie House is a totally different thing.
Right. Excuse me. And I was watching an episode of House, and every once in a while they'll have people on there, that's been in stuff in the past. And I looked and I said, man, that guy looks familiar, man. What have I seen him on? And I always look at their eyes, man. I looked at the eyes and I said, that's Greatest American Hero. That's William Catt, and of course he's, a lot older now. And I looked at my wife, I said, you remember that show, Greatest American Hero? She's like, no, dear, I didn't watch that. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. But that was him. I said, that's him, man. He was in the episode of House. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. He had a comic book that he was doing for a little while. For a little while, he's been in a lot of different stuff. William Catt, he does those conventions now.
Oh,
like kind of like the Comic Con kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a convention in San Francisco that I went to because a friend of mine was appearing. And he's an actor, another guy. But William Catt was supposed to be there too, and I was super excited to meet him. But it turned out he couldn't make it.
Oh man.
So I get in touch with him. I'm like, man, or what did I do? Actually, a friend of mine runs a Greatest American Hero fan website.
Oh, wow.
Something like that. And she did like a live, like kind of like this, but it wasn't over YouTube at the time. It was over like one of those other something TV. Justin TV. Do you remember Justin TV?
I ain't heard of that.
That was like a way to do this back 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Before you could do this stuff live on YouTube, you had to use Justin TV or some other broadcasting type of thing. And so anyway, so she did a live thing with him, right? But I forget. It was like a short notice thing, or it was during the day or something. And there was only like 2 people that jumped in to watch, and it was me and somebody else. There was nobody watching this thing, so we were able to not. I wasn't on camera, but I could type, kind of like everybody else is doing here. I could type to him, and he would read it, and he would talk back to me.
Oh wow! 10 years ago, that was a big breakthrough. I mean, that was cool.
I've got the video actually here. I'm not here. Where am I? On my Facebook. If you look through my videos on my Facebook page, you'll come across video with me talking to William Catt. But it's me typing, right?
Oh, that's cool.
So anyway, so I told him, hey man, I missed you at the San Francisco comic convention, whatever it was. And he's like, oh yeah, sorry, But he ended up giving me his address or something. And I sent him a CD of my original music.
Oh.
And some guitar picks. And he sends me an email back saying, Johnny, thanks. He's a musician. A lot of people don't know that. He actually put out a record back in the early 80s. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He actually has an album. But he's writing me, he sends me an email saying, Johnny, thanks. I just got a brand new Les Paul, and I'm using your guitar picks. And
Oh, wow,
as a
cool.
kid, growing up watching that show, American Hero, that was I was a total nerd.
That was a Zen moment right there.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
yeah.
Oh,
It was
I
awesome.
can't believe it. That's
the guy
awesome.
in the pajamas. Yeah,
That's
knows who
cool,
I am.
man. That's cool. That's awesome. All right,
But
guys.
yeah.
Fortunately, I have to wrap this up because it is 20 after 2, and I have to go. I have to go to work. And but this has been real fun, Johnny. Thank you very much, man, for spending some time here.
Yeah,
Appreciate
and
it
Joe,
very
I
much, man.
apologize that it was craziness just to get us on here.
Oh, that's okay, man. It ain't no problem. Things happen sometimes.
It all
man.
worked out.
You know, it all worked out, man. It all worked out.
This is
It
fun.
all worked out in the end. Just relax and breathe.
So, yes.
And leave a thumbs
Cool
up.
deal, man. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah,
I
check
wanna
out
leave a
Johnny
thumbs up.
Beane on YouTube, folks. What you going to be on tonight, Johnny? Wolfgang Wednesday?
Yeah, we'll be on 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern time. It'll be myself and Nesdal. Rob, it's Rob's birthday tomorrow, just to let you guys know. And I guess he's celebrating tonight, so he's not going to be with us tonight. But it'll be myself and Nesdal for sure, and I don't know, whoever else maybe. But yeah, we'll be live. We usually say Wolfgang Wednesday, but I think we're going to continue the Tom Petty conversation over there.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
With Nesdal, because Nesdal is a
That would be fantastic.
huge fan.
Yeah.
Himself. So
That'd be
real
awesome.
quick, are you doing the Arby's thing, man? See you, Simon.
I believe so.
Are you getting the chicken this time? Because yesterday you said you had already had chicken, so you weren't getting the chicken.
Yeah, I did the beef and cheddar yesterday, so I will, Johnny. That's what I'll do, man. I'll get the. You have to tune in. You have to tune in.
Tuna.
I might get that.
Get the tuna.
I might get that, or I might get a gyro. I've been wanting a gyro lately. Those gyros are fantastic.
I thought they were gyros.
So, yeah, that's what I called them too. For years I said that. I want a gyro. Guy was like, "You want a what?" I said, "I want a gyro." Yeah.
Arby's sounds great to me. See you, Randall. See you, Simon. See you, Jay, Stefan, Paul, everybody.
Jim Guidry, Simon Williams, Paul Glover, everybody. Thank you.
Arby's sounds good to me, but it's like 40 minutes away. 40.
Yeah,
it's 40 minutes away for me.
It's a drive for you.
I take
just
the drive
put on the
back.
suit and fly over there.
I would if I had. I got to find the instructions.
I had that 45 single. Can you believe that for that theme song? I had the record.
What was the flip side?
What was that?
What was the B side?
I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Was it Joey Scarberry or Scarberry or something?
Joey Scarberry.
But I cannot remember the B side. I couldn't tell you. I don't even know if I even listened to the B side.
The B side was called "A Little Bit of Us." That was the B side.
I don't even remember that. I don't even remember. All right, Johnny, I got to ride, man. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
My wife's got the carpet cleaner going. I got to go. So yeah. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Check out Johnny Beane tonight on his channel, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for being here. Look in the description below if you'd like to inquire about some shirts or anything else, any other kind of apparel. It's there if you'd like to look. Thank you so much for watching, folks. God bless. Love you guys. Take care. Special thanks again to Johnny Beane.
Johnny Beane.
Catch you later. That's right. That's right. Take care, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye.